9-3, you're going to draw and identify the rotation of an image in the coordinate plane. Number 6, you're just going to graph the image of the figure using the transformation here. So it's a rotation, clockwise, counterclockwise, rotations, right? So all these rotations, it's very hard to do without like a compass. So the best approach here is to actually use the rule. So these are the rules that you should have memorized for the rotations on the coordinate rules. These are all about the origins. So for 90 degrees clockwise or a 270 counterclockwise, this is true. So you switch the values and the original x is now a negative. So that sign switches. For 180 clockwise or 180 counterclockwise, the values here, you just get the opposite sign. So all the positives become negatives, all the negative becomes positives. Okay? Then the 90 counterclockwise or 270 clockwise, you switch the values and the original y becomes a negative. So you switch signs there. Okay? So remember these rules, have it memorized. This is the best approach to apply it. Okay? So how we approach these problems are very familiar to that, okay? So I'm going to give myself a little bit more room here, and then I'm going to show you what I mean, okay? So hang on tight. All right. So for A, it is a 90 degrees clockwise. So we know from our rule, this one would be like this. So x comma y arrow, then it becomes y comma negative x, right? We switch it, and the original x is now switching sign. So all we have to do is grab our original point. So we have Q. Let's label Q. Q was originally, let's see, 0 in the x, -1 for the y. H is 1, 2, 3, -3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. J is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 1, 2, 3. Okay, so these are all the original points. Then we'll apply the transformation. Okay, we'll apply this transformation in Q prime would be, we switch the values. So this becomes -x comma 0. Then we want to originally make the original x, which is that 0, become a negative. So that remains like that. H prime, okay, we switch everything. So -5 comma -3. And that original x is now a positive. So that -3 becomes a +3. Okay. And then the J prime, we see that we switch spots, -3 comma 5. And then originally the x was a 5, so now it becomes a -5. Now let's just plot those points. So -1 comma 0, this is where Q prime is. H is at -5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, this is where H prime would be. And J would be at -3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks wrong. That looks wrong. That looks wrong. -3. J is negative. Ah ha ha ha. I wrote J wrong. It's -5 comma 3. Okay. Right. So it was a -5 and it became a +5, right? Let's see if that looks right now. -3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks right now. Okay. So this is where here J prime would look like. Okay. Let's see. Let's connect it. Good. 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 Okay. That looks good. Okay, that is the rotation. Okay, so again, when it's a 90 degrees clockwise, you switch the values, and then the original x is switches signs. Okay, that's based on the rule. All right, and that looks like it's rotation. All right, and then let's do the next one. This is a 90 degrees counterclockwise. This is the same as your, please understand, this is the same as your 270 degree clockwise. This is the same. And the rule for this one would be the x comma y becomes negative y comma x. So you switch, and the original x switches signs. Okay? All right, let me repeat that. You switch these two, right? The y goes first, then the x goes second, and then the y, the sign of that changes. Okay, so let's label our points here. B prime is, no, sorry, B. I'm just labeling the pre-image here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. S is 2, comma 2. L is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, comma 0. Okay. All right. So let's now label the new image, B prime. So we switched the values, 5, comma 4, right? It was 4, 5. Now it's 5, 4. The original x, the original y was a 5, so the sign changes here. So the negative becomes a positive. S was 2, 2, switches, becomes 2, 2. But the original y, which is a 2, becomes a negative. L prime, the original is 5, 0, so it's 0, comma 5. And the original y, which is 0, becomes a negative. That 0 becomes a negative 0, but that doesn't really change. Okay? All right, so okay, let's see. Let's see if we did it right. Let's see if it looks right. So B is negative 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. B prime. S is negative 2, 2. S prime, and then y, which is 0, comma 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then let's now connect it. Good. Good. Ooh, that looks interesting. Hold on, let me double check. Good, good. Let me see. Yeah, it looks good. All right. All right. So remember, for the 90 degrees counterclockwise or 270 clockwise, this rule holds. You change the values, so the x becomes the y becomes the x, and then the original x here, the original y is what changes values. All right, so let's take a look for the 180. For the 180 rule, it is the x comma y, that becomes negative x comma negative y. So this means that you just change the signs on those values. Okay. All right, let's grab the original image here. F is negative 1 comma 3. H is negative 1 comma negative 2. M is negative 1, 2, 3, negative 3 comma negative 2. And B is 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So M is wrong. It's negative 4 comma negative 2. Yeah. Good, good. B would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5, up 1. There you go. Those should be my right points. All right? Make sure you're labeling your points correctly. All right, F prime, looks like we just changed the signs for all of them. So that -1 becomes a +1, that 3 becomes a -3. H, that -1 becomes a 1, that -2 becomes a 2. That M, oh, forgot the prime symbol here. Okay. All right, the M, the -4 becomes a 4. The -2 becomes a 2. The B, the -5 becomes a 5. The 1 becomes a -1. Okay, we just changed the signs. All right, so F looks like it is at 1, comma -3. 3. The H, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. M is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. And B, which is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 1. Yeah, that looks good. All right, and now let's just connect it. All right, that looks good. All right, that is C. And D, 270's clockwise. 270 clockwise is the same rule as the 90. This is the same as the 90 counter clockwise, okay? And the rule for this one is the X comma Y. This is when we switch the values and then the original Y changes signs. All right, so let's grab the points. H here is -2 comma -3. F is -1 comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then U is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's, sorry, -4 comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5. Perfect. All right. So it undergoes the rotation of 270. So what happens? So let's switch it. -3 comma -2. The original Y was a -3, so it becomes a +3 now. Okay, so I just erased that. Oops, I forgot to write my prime symbol. So this is H prime. So F becomes F prime. We switch the values, so it is -5 comma -1. The original Y changes. The original Y was -5, so it becomes a +5. Okay. The U now goes to U prime. We switch it, -5 comma -4. And the original X, no, sorry, the original Y is -5, so it becomes a +5. Okay, so now let's just graph it. A 3, -2, 1, 2 is right here. All right, and then this is H prime. F prime is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, down 1. This is F prime. U is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is U prime. Okay, so that would be your 270 clockwise or 90-degree counterclockwise. Okay, so there you go. So all these from question D, C, B to A, all stems from this question of the properties of the rotation of the coordinate rows. Okay.